It must also know for whom the policy is made. It should also know why the policy is made. It should be sensitive to why it is implementing such a policy, right? So let us say Jandan Yojana, right? Or Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Janni and Shishu Suraksha Karyakram, right? Likewise, whatever. So if the administration is implementing these policies, but it does not have the understanding why we are doing it, are you getting my point? So किसी ने बोला, see, imagine this way, that somebody told you that, okay, yaar, one of my friend will come, right? I am not here, he is in need, you kindly give the money to them, 5,000 money I am depositing in your account, go and give it to your friend, or to my friend. The friend comes, right, and you give the money. You go back, enjoy in your room, right, and you tell your friend, "Arey bhai, I give him the money," right? Now, one situation. Second situation, your friends tell you this, right, that your friend tells you, sorry, that you have to go meet my friend is coming, he is not in a good situation, kindly give him this money. Now that was situation A, where administration is very neutral and at the same time insensitive. The second aspect is, now you go and give the money, but before you give the money, you buy out of curiosity, out of being sensitive. You ask him, okay, is everything all right? Are you feeling low? What is the issue? Now he tells you that, okay, fine, this has just happened. Okay, my very close person, he died just now. I have to just go back home. Now, what will be your reaction? See, now you might be compelled on humanitarian grounds, emotionally, that, okay, fine, do you want some more help? See? Difference between a machine and a human being. So when you say 𝗵𝗺𝗺 is a machine, it is an instrument, right? It is without these emotions. Understanding? So when you are simply a technical system, when you are just operating on the basis of some procedures, rules, regulation, and you are not concerned with why this decision has been taken, right? What was the nature of the decision? What was the entire politics behind it? What happened? You are not concerned. You simply say, भाई, I am the courier boy. अब तुमने क्या रखा है उस courier में मुझे मतलब नहीं है. तुमने मुझे courier दिया, मैंने address पे पहुंचा दिया. See, the administration cannot be the delivery boy. Can it be? Fine, but it should not be that involved also that it will just unpack your food and eat it. Fine. तो ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए, है ना? तो वो corruption है, right? So उसको over involved भी नहीं होना है, emotional, and it should not be totally isolated from that idea, right? So dichotomy क्या करता है? Somewhere makes the administration more insensitive, right? It somewhere removes the fear of the people, fear of the parliament from the minds of the bureaucrats. You see, the special task forces, NSGs, National Security Guards, AFSPA or military under AFSPA, there are several situations, right, where these people become highly insensitive. Why? Because they don't have to be answerable to the legislature or even the people. So जहाँ भी इनकी answerability थोड़ी सी कम हो, professionalism बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, right? They will become insensitive, and that is not good for democracy. Democracy doesn't work like a corporate structure, right? So ये एक drawback है, fine. Plus, people have talked about ethical and moral aspect. That if the dichotomy is implemented in letter and spirit, so if we implement this in complete letter and spirit, what will happen to public service values? Right? What about public service ethics? What about these values? See? When administration which is very well trained, knows all the laws, very well educated, skilled, intelligent, right, will implement things, right? But will he think about people? will he be compelled to think morally about his actions or not? Right? Now see, when you think of administration, it is the link between citizens and government. Now it cannot do anything without understanding its consequence. See, it's a very typical ethical dilemma, right? For example, Pablo Escobar, right? Let's say he started smuggling because he was coming from very poor background. He was coming from a poor background, so he wanted to protect and support his family. Protecting your family is an ethical thing. Making them survive, right, against poverty, against malnourishment, against impoverishment, whatever, is ethical. तो अभी हम जो बात करो उस पर बात करो कि ये सही है या नहीं है. सही है. Totally correct, right? It is the principle of natural law. I have to survive, I have to survive, I don't care. Try to understand. This is the logic of every human being. ये सबसे क्या बोल सकते हैं? Historical, traditional, yes. It is the natural instinct. People have lived for 80 days in the ocean, right, by eating their own flesh. You know that? So there was a person, I don't remember name, who was crossing the English Channel, but somehow, right, he could not do it. He got stuck somewhere, and then he had to eat his own flesh to survive. First he ate ice, but after that he could not eat ice for a certain period of time. Then he had to cut his own flesh and eat it. ये भी survival है. Yes, army commandos, you don't know, right? So they have to follow certain. Now they are, yes, that is correct. Those people who are posted in Ladakh, in those alpine zones, yes, Siachen, alpine zones, or high-end mountain zones, where there is very thin air, right? What do? So they have to drink alcohol to survive. Now if you say, I am a Brahmin, I am a this, I am a 𝗵𝗵𝗽𝗀𝗃𝗃, I don't do all this and this. How will you survive? Correct. Follow your religion, nobody is stopping you. Follow your culture. But the logic is, circumstances will compel you. How many days you will not do it? So ethics वहाँ पे कहाँ जाता है? So when you are talking about natural law, तो एस्कोबार ने भाई किया, but the moment he came out of that survival problem, still he did it. That means I'm not saying it was correct initially also, but initially he had an explanation. Later on he did not have an explanation. He was enjoying the process. He became greedy, right? अब इसको मैं यहाँ use करता हूँ. See, when they are implementing the policies and programs, they are given the authority, right? And they have to, let's say, dichotomy protects them from both, right? So they are given autonomy, implement things. Over a period of time, what happens? They develop this as a tendency now, that it's okay, we are free, right? They cannot control us, they cannot control us. So what to do? Now see, the tendency of misuse will emerge. So lack of accountability will lead to more insensitivity, right? So the ethics and morality, right, the framework of public service ethics says that no, even if administration is very efficient without political control, right, without citizens' interference, even if it is extraordinary, it doesn't matter. We do not need that efficient bureaucracy. We need less efficient with sensitivity, right, or relatively less efficient with more sensitivity, more empathy. So human values cannot be eliminated or cannot be compromised for efficiency. Are you getting? Understanding this logic? So dichotomy may lead to so many things. It may lead to highly technical administration, right? जो सिर्फ यही सोचता है. So people have criticized it, and they have talked about dilemma, right? But there is dilemma of dichotomy. So accountability is necessary, right? And somewhere we do not want to make administration insensitive. Right? Now come back. So people criticized it. There are a lot of scholars who come, they criticize dichotomy idea and they say it is illogical, cannot be acceptable, right? Waldo is one of them, right? Waldo, and there is another Mass and Radaway. Have you heard their name? Sapru, you have not read the book, huh? Mass and Radaway, इनका बहुत फेमस स्टेटमेंट है, वो भी यूपीएससी का क्वेश्चन है. Policy is being made while it is being implemented. Policy is being made while it is being implemented and implemented while it is being made. Mass and Radaway, ये भी यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन है. So policy is being made while it is being implemented and implemented while it is being made. Understanding what does it mean? Discarding the dichotomy. By politics administration dichotomy to politics administration convergence or collaboration. Fine. So this is discarding the dichotomy, this statement. NPA is known by its values, change and relevance. Equity and justice are its main purposes. Now see what he is doing? He is saying that you are trying to eliminate value from the administration, right? You are trying to make it more technical, more machine type, more rigid structure. It is not correct, because administration must be value based. It must work for the change of the society. It should not just simply implement things, right? It should also transform things. It should also be relevant to the needs of the society. That means you cannot create a machine which is not adapting to the changes of society. Understanding this? Equity and justice are its main purposes. So it says, what is the end of public administration? What is the goal of studying it? What is the goal of doing it? That we must achieve these things. तो अगर उसको ये अचीव करना है तो उसको ये पढ़ना पड़ेगा. किसको? पवेट को. As a subject, it should study this, right? As an activity, as a function, it must understand this. So NPA comes, or Waldo comes, and now he makes the public administration, or discards the dichotomy and says that administrators will be involved in transforming the society. इसका मतलब क्या है? Change. You write no? You read Lakshmikant type books, you know, or some, I don't know, some notes. So you write change. But NPA is change orientation. It is talking about changing society and all. That is not the logic of change. NPA is driving change. It is different from the traditional PubAd. The traditional PubAd is preserving what is there. The new public administration is transforming what is there. लेकिन ये तब पता चलता है कब? जब आपने और बड़ी बड़ी किताबें पढ़ी हों, है ना? तो बेचारे लक्ष्मीकांत के दिमाग से सोचोगे तो यही लिखोगे, राइट. सो द एनपीए obviously discards dichotomy. It brings public policy or public policy perspective in public administration.
So is the what is the statement preserving and the next thing is?
When you talk about change, the traditional ProdEgy was preserving the existing society. The new public administration is transforming the existing society. So it is change. Yes. So he says that yes, there is a need for greater collaboration of politics and administration. Only then change can be brought. Only then justice can be served. भाई तुम लॉ बनाओगे तभी मैं इम्प्लीमेंट करूँगा, राइट. क्या इम्प्लीमेंट करना है जब मैं बताऊँगा तभी तुम लॉ बनाओगे. सी इट्स लाइक द कोलैबोरेशन, राइट, रेसिप्रोकल रिलेशनशिप. So without collaboration of each other, we cannot bring this kind of transformation. That is why there is a scholar, Fredrickson. Fredrickson says that NPA makes an activist public administrator. NPA makes the public administrator an activist advocate of social reforms or social changes. So new public administration becomes now one of the first important basis of criticism of dichotomy, criticism of not only dichotomy but also all the management perspective of study in public administration. So Waldo himself was a supporter of politics based study. Right? He was never a supporter of management based study of public administration, right. So Fredrickson comes with his statement, NPA makes ProdEgy or public administrator an activist, change, relevance, equity, justice, rule of law, client orientation, democratic ideals. ये कौन बोलेगा? मीडिया वाला? अरे कौन बोलेगा भैया? ProdEgy वाला है ना. फाइन. सो लॉजिकली एक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर जो है, if his vocabulary is this now, if he changes his stance towards society, what is he becoming? He is becoming the reformer of the society. That is what he is trying to say. What is the difference between the traditional public administration or public administrator and the new public administrator? That the traditional one did not consider himself as part of society. The new one considers himself as part of society and he is the change agent in the society. You have understood this much? Fine. So, ठीक है, you write a question, then you can. If you have written the previous one, kindly submit it. I'll evaluate it and give it to you. Don't write all of them. Obviously, some we'll discuss in the class. Fine. But we'll write. Questions हम discuss जरूर करेंगे बहुत सारे. Okay, right? It would be better to call Goodnow or Frank Goodnow, but Goodnow is okay. It would be better to call Goodnow as the father of public administration than Woodrow Wilson. Comment. Now see, it has 4 or 5 points which you can put, plus you can talk about Goodnow's idea, fine, but not necessarily you should agree with this. इसीलिए comment दिया है, right? So if you write a comment, need not agree with the statement, fine. If the question says explain, then you cannot do anything but you have to agree. Why? Because you have to simply explain जो दिया हुआ है. You cannot raise counter arguments, right? Elucidate, write it, what is there. Simplify and write it, elucidate. Right? But if it is critically evaluate, yes. Critical evaluation is not criticism, or it is not just criticism, right? So critical evaluation, critical analysis, it tells you to find out what are the most important aspects तो जब बोलते हैं तुम्हारे फादर क्रिटिकल हैं, तो क्रिटिसिज्म होता है तुम्हारे फादर का, क्या होता है? जो सबसे वाइटल एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, राइट, समथिंग विच इज अर्जेंसी. सो व्हेन यू से क्रिटिकली एनालाइज मीन्स फाइंड आउट इसके सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स को, राइट, एंड नाउ ट्राई टू एनालाइज देम इन अ नेगेटिव पर्सपेक्टिव और एटलीस्ट हाईलाइट देयर ड्रॉबैक्स. नाउ तो जो सबसे क्रिटिकल एस्पेक्ट है, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट, बट इफ द क्वेश्चन कम्स क्रिटिसाइज, यस क्रिटिसाइज. So comment is a very good, or comment provides a very good scope for discussion, but discussion in an argumentative manner. कि भाई ये ठीक है, क्यों ठीक है, इसलिए ठीक है भाई, बट हो सकता है ये कंप्लीट ठीक ना हो, तो ये भी एक व्यू है, तो वो भी लिख दिया. फिर तुमने बोला कि हमने ये व्यू क्यों लिखा, इसलिए लिखा कि इसमें ये इनकम्प्लीट है. So it's like you are talking to a friend, right? But obviously based on facts, not on your own creativity. Okay, another question लिखिए. Discuss the implications of dichotomy. And the critical aspects of Wilson's vision of 𝗵𝗵𝗽𝗵. Full stop. So critical aspect means essential, vital aspects, right? And the first part, discuss. Implications means both good and bad, right? Fine, so see you then. I don't know, maybe tomorrow if we have a class or don't have, I don't remember. We'll see the timetable, right? Fine, so, or if we don't have a class, then we can have a doubt solving session, whatever, we'll try to, right? Or you can take time and study, no problem. See you then.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am 𝗕𝗵𝗽𝗀𝗁𝗍𝗪. I secured rank 42 this time in civil services examination. I just came from one of my assignments. As you can see, I am currently working. I have a morning to evening duty right now, and I'm currently posted in Kerala as an ASP, Assistant Superintendent of Police, under training. So Ashutosh sir has been, one of the greatest motivators to me during my civil service preparation. I remember when I cleared my IPS, I got into IPS, he was one of the first persons to tell me that you should reappear for this examination, because I had completely given up. After 3 years of such hard work, I was like, I am done. I don't want any part of this anymore. I need to take a break. I need to relax. But I'm very grateful that he motivated me to write this examination again. And I really wish you all the best for all your endeavors. One thing I would want to add about Ashutosh sir is that my option was public administration, and public administration got very unique and dicey after post 2012. So Ashutosh sir was one of the first faculties in New Delhi to get a hold of the new pattern in public administration, or the new syllabus, or the hidden syllabus, as many would have called it. So I'm really grateful to him for that. Best of luck to all of you, everyone. Goodbye.